What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to Get It Off Your Chest, number 86. My name is Christopher J. Thank you guys for tuning in. Do me a favor, you want more content like this, hit subscribe and share. Follow me on all social links are located in the description. We're on the road to 1,000 subscribers. Once we reach that goal, one lucky person will get $100 during the Cash App giveaway. As you can see, Cellulite, my guy Will's in the building. So, what's good, man?
Nothing much, chilling at work. Let's go ahead and get this shit popping.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Y'all, we got a lot done went through my head in the last few days. Um, between Clubhouse and YouTube. So I said, you know what? Let's just put it all together. So I'm not trying to go back and chase after these links and stuff. So we'll get into Clubhouse momentarily. I want to talk about the stream. Not from Will stream yesterday. And again, Will, you and Kulo, exceptional job of what you guys are doing, man. So
Greatly appreciate that, big homie.
no problem, no problem. And if somebody could go find Nidish, I don't know his IG at all. If somebody could go find Nidish, I would greatly appreciate it because we're not necessarily going to talk about the Priscilla situation. However, like I said, I want all victims to receive justice and I want all predators to be held accountable. That's always going to be my stance. Now,
I got his
Nidish,
ID. I'll send him a message. Give me a second.
okay, bet. And I send them the link and everything too, because I want them to pull up, because I want to have that conversation. Now, matter of fact, while we're waiting for Nightish, let me actually start off with the Clubhouse things. That's not going to take long at all. So, the first link was from the girls from In Real Life. Those are one of my favorite people on Clubhouse, and I frequent their room quite often as I can. Their title was "Why Aren't Today's Women Like Yesterday's Women?" And just to give a my quick answer to that is real simple. Yesterday's women are today's women, and today's women are yesterday's women. The only big difference was the internet. Everybody got a camera. Everybody got internet access. You just start to see more now. You see a modern. Oh, jeez, I cannot talk. A modern version. I try to be smart and make up a word. You just see a modern version of traditional women. Meaning, had they had internet access back in the day, you'll probably see the exact same things. You'll probably just see the attire evolve. Because keep in mind, back in the day, if you showed your arms as a female or you show your ankles, you will be perceived as promiscuous or as a 304, as they say.
Yeah.
So,
Or they got a word for it. They call it pre-modernity.
pretty much, Jesus, I ain't heard that word. So wrong, I ain't heard that word. But there's no big difference between today's women and yesteryear's women. They're all the same. Matter of fact, today's women were raised by the women of yesterday. So that's why it's a smooth transition. The only thing is uh technology was evolved and so did the women's attires. Otherwise, ain't none of this, all the stuff is the same. Like all the bad mothers, they are still responsible in a way, just like it was back in the day. There's, like I said, there's really no difference. If there was good mothers back in the day, there's good mothers now. If there was bad mothers back in the day, there are bad mothers now. The only thing that happened was time went by and technology involved. There is no difference at all. Hold up, I ain't seen you in a good minute. How you doing, Zyrax? Oh, it's good to see you again. Hold on, let me. Sorry, I had to answer that message. My bad. But yeah, that's the only big difference. That's the only difference is the internet. Or all to say. I know they say the modern women, or we can have women that's more traditional, and I always like to have fun with them. Want to say how far back we going for as traditional? You want to go back to the 60s? You want to go back to the 20s? I promise you, the women are saying, hell, you can. I know some people say, "What about the white women?" I don't know. I don't know why people try to add other ethnicities into this conversation, but same thing goes for them. But you guys want to go back to tradition? Tradition, excuse me. You can take it back to the Bible days. See, at least that's how far back I can go to show you that they're all the same. Women that complain about working right now, guess what? They was working back then too. They they took care of the house. They went to the market. They sold what they sell what they was sewing at the house. That's an entrepreneur. Women, you guys are all the same. From back from my parents' days, back from my grandparents' days to now. You guys are all the same. That's it, and that's okay. That is okay. No big deal. That, but that's my take on it. We're all the same. But do you have any quick takes on that before we wait for nightish?
No, I ain't got no quick takes on it. I mean, yeah, I might have a little some. It's pretty much in agreement with you. There is no difference between the women of old and the women of now. Despite that they try to attach this label of pre-modernity that women was better then than they are now. Women are still women. They was still having working grievances back then. They still got working grievances now, even outside the workplace, even in relationships, and motherhood, all in marriage, all of that and the other. It's still the same. So what is the big deal?
Yeah, nothing. And guess what? You guys are still going to marry. You're still going to sleep with them, or you're going to marry them. Them are your only two options.
Period.
Or if you really um, have some type of self discipline, just don't deal with them at all.
Mm.
Let's see how long that lasts.
It won't last long because what they say, it's hard for us to be men because the women is out here putting themselves out here because we gonna want to smash something. But just because it's right in front of your face don't mean that you have to partake in it. But oh, it's encoded within our DNA. That's not how that works. It's not how that works.
Not at all. I believe so too. It's just that cost of living has gone up, that men has to work longer, and women are having to work also pay bills. Zyrex, that ain't no sweetheart. They did that back in the day too. Men work double. Men work long hours. They
That's
they
true.
went they went to their day jobs, and then they can find something to do at night. They went to that too.
That's
And as
true.
far as women worked. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm trying to remember what year was it. Was it in the 1920s when women started working in this country? I think it's 1920. I got to go back and find it. Is it? I got to go back and find this.
I mean, if we talking about legally, like on paper, like a
Like
W
tax,
two and all this, that, and the other.
like by law, they identify as women in the workforce. I think.
I mean, women
What is
women
it?
have always been in the workforce. Even like I know, like people like to refer back to the Bible, but if you look back, even in those biblical days, or in the heavy biblical days, BC and stuff like that, women were always been a part of the workforce. It's just that they're getting the recognition as far as like taxes and all this, that, and the other. That came like way back when. But you got to remember, even during the World War, most of the men went off to fight. The women is who what built the industry. They the ones that was sitting at home taking care of the children, paying the bills, and working in the manufacturers' warehouses and stuff like that. So it's
Right.
not like women have not been taught. Women have not been working. They've been working. So what's the complaint?
Not, and that's all I'm saying. They're all the same. Almanize. Hey, how you doing? Black women never stayed at home. We always work. I know. Trust me,
Exactly.
I know. I know. And that's why I tell people the concept of stay-at-home wife is still fairly new. What everybody had to go out and work. Now, you can go far as that's classism. I know dominantly white people do the whole stay at home wife thing, but it's all about classism. Do you make enough money to keep your wife at the house? That
Correct.
concept of stay at home wife is still fairly new, and that whole stay at home husband, or what's this Cheeky and Aaron call it, uh
House husbands.
house husband,
Yeah.
a super new concept, fairly new. So, hey man, hey sugar, how you doing, sweetheart? The concept of their home wife is a white thing, not a. It's not a. I know it's not new. It's not new at all. I mean, hold on. No, the Genesis. Hear me out. It's not a new thing because I'm 37. So I heard about this all my life. But the concept in itself is still new because if you go back to, I go back to the Bible days, sweetheart. Women worked in the Bible. I always tell people because people who want to weaponize the Bible against women, particularly Proverbs chapter 31, I want to say verse 24, 25, I don't remember. It says you, a woman, will go ahead and sew all her merch, go to the town square and sell them. She's an entrepreneur.
Mm.
And it started there. I was obviously in modernized, get like Sel just spoke about women working in the workforce before the 1900s, before the government started really recognizing it. Women has always got out and worked. The concept of stay-at-home wife is still freshly new, and Chiki and Aaron came up with the house husband thing earlier this year or last year. So still new, which goes to the point. What's the big difference between women of this year and yesteryears? No difference at all. Only thing you have to do was get a camera and get a Wi-Fi password.
That's
That's
it.
it.
To Sugar Bone's point, she says specific house husband isn't a new concept. You're actually right. It's not a new concept. It's just now have a general label that people has been using now, which is that the husband stay at home, and pretty much the role is 100% reversed. That the husband stay at home, take care of the kids, take care of the house, take care of the wife, and the wife is out working. So that's nothing new. That's been around for quite some time as well. It's just that now it has a label on it. And she
Correct.
says specifically black women have been taking care of men for years. Don't even get me started on that. A lot of these dudes want to talk
Mm-hmm.
about pre-modernity. You want to find out the truth?
Brittany, I made sure I give him his credit. And matter of fact, Aaron as well. So trust, I get on the credit. Good evening. So you like podcast chat? Shout out from bro, Kulu, bro. Hey, like I said, homosexual. Jesus Christ, sugar. And hey, we're still gonna hold out for Niners as much as possible. But that's what I want to say about that. To the girls in real life, shout out to you guys for doing another great room. The links are located in the description. Let's get to the next one. This room is happening now. I was in a room previously regarding King Chicago. If those remember, I used to promote King Chicago on the BTSI show a lot. He's doing another room. I just had it. What is it? And the links are located in the description.
Hey,
Red.
I gotta do a radio check right quick. Be right back.
All right, go ahead. Uh, red flag. Brittany, I understand. Trust me when I say I totally understand. But I just want to have a conversation about what he said yesterday. It's still, I get where he's coming. We'll wait. We'll wait for Nightish if he comes. If not, we'll just go ahead and go through with it. Now, King Chicago. They're doing a room right now as we speak. Title is Red Flag. Is being a provider just a modern day simping? Is being a provider modern day simping? Now, I let me give you guys a backstory on Chicago. He had a room called Bring the Smoke. I used to be in that room, moderate that room, and we used to promote all good, all love. Now, he's of a mind state of poly, not even polygamy, poly, because he believes when it comes to polygamy, it's still a form of simping because the man in that structure still has to not only provide for the household, but he got to provide for however many wives he has, and he got to provide for the children. He's not for that. He's not doing that at all. What his idea is, I we all come together, but we all go to work. We all put our resources together. And we all put it in the household. Now I'm not going to give away if those who got games and who is ahead of the curve. You can kind of tell. I'm just not gonna stomp on his what he got going on. I'm just gonna leave it at that. However, when it comes to the idea of is being a provider just modern day simping, obviously the answer is no, because he's of the idea of if a man is providing for a woman, that's a form of prostitution, and he believes that men are Johns and women are prostitutes if you decide to provide for them. And I'm like, and I trust me, I've been battling him with this for the past how many years has it been? Because I was on Clubhouse before I came
Wait,
to the
he's under the notion that what now?
providing modern day simping. Being a provider is modern day simping, and also being a husband is a form of prostitution.
That doesn't
I
even make sense.
I know it doesn't make sense, but he's stuck in his ways.
So providing for your wife and your children, providing for your family is a form of simping. That's what he's saying.
Yes, that's what he believes. Granted, he's asking the question, but I'm telling you right now, that's what he believes. Because he
Okay, so if that's okay, so what's the anti-simp of that? If you're a married man and you have a family, what's the anti-simp of that?
50-50
50-50 in what way? Because remember, they're under the mindset that
financially.
women shouldn't work.
Financially.
Remember, they're under the mindset that women should not work. So this is what always like destroyed their own argument. If y'all
Mhm.
want to go back to pre-modernity where women do not work, or y'all under the belief that women don't work and that everything should be 50-50, what money would she then provide to even hold up her half of the 50? If you providing for your children and for your wife is something, then what the hell is that? Come on, man. This doesn't make no sense.
It doesn't, and like I said, we've been battling that with him for years now. And when I went back in the room, it's just like something's just doesn't change. Now he's still pushing, not even polygamy. He's pushing a form of poly. What he's trying to do is create another form of poly. To my knowledge, there's at least 7 or 9 officially that I'm aware of. He's
Yeah,
trying
here
to
we
create.
go.
He's trying to create his own form of poly. Hey, Rob, and
Hey, baby.
he's trying to create it to where everybody. Now I get everybody has to bring something to the table. Basically, now I understand. I get the idea of being an adult and being a dependent. I remember I spoke out against taking care of a dependent. Like you're just here for a free ride, you got to go. But this, in a way, is I'm not like I said, I'm not trying to step on his game or whatever he's trying to do, but I don't agree with it. To
I
say that,
will. Do you know who Kevin Wesley is?
what I heard that name before.
Yeah, Kevin Wesley. He's like the godfather of poly relationships, right? You know, Kevin. Let me tell you about who Kevin Wesley is. Kevin Wesley was notably to be known as friends with Dwight Howard, right? And do you know anything about the Dwight Howard story? Dwight Howard was he was like the pre Diddy before everybody knew what Diddy was doing in the public space now. So if he's trying to recreate what Kevin Wesley has done, Mr. King Polly himself, Mr. Take it in the back door and spit it out the front, yeah, okay. Any man that follows that, you got it.
What?
Returning to the BTS Shot Show, Omni, what's good, man?
What's going on? I caught what you were talking about, but who you're talking about is lost on me. So women didn't work when throughout the course of human history we can see that women worked in things such as agriculture.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Did the clothing in most cultures?
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Preach.
Oh man,
They
you
Even
gathered.
when they try to say, oh, we're in the animal kingdom. Well, okay. Well, if y'all try to look at it in the lions, right, in a pack of lions, the lionesses go out and do the hunting. The
Facts.
main lion don't eat until they catch the damn food.
yep.
Exactly.
What level of stupidity are we dealing with here?
Yeah, man. Shout out to King Chicago, but Jesus Christ, what are you doing, man? Like, I get it, and he is a content creator. I will give him credit because he managed to have the right titles to spark up the right emotion. That's why I'm not hating. I'm not hating on him as a content creator because I see what he's doing. Ashton, what's good, my guy? Um, so I see what he's doing, and but I also is like, bro, I know what your play is, but and some women will go for it, and some women, most women will not. They'll provide good content, good pushback, and whatever. But all I'm saying is, bro, this ain't it. This now that's that room title. The one I was in before this, which is one I was a little bit more active in the chat because they was talking about I guess how long should a man wait for a recycle box? I'm mad that I didn't get that link for that room, but I don't think the replay is on anyway. How long should men wait off a recycle box? So now you have an idea of the type of people that that we're dealing with here. Now, of course, all these everybody had their own take on it. The women, it was the man versus woman, as you guys would expect. Now, I said this in the comments. Let me paraphrase because I forgot exactly what I typed. Oh, the fact that you guys are using you're looking for a time date for sex under the guise of courtship because you're looking for marriage allegedly is wild. That's what I said. And the question is also I asked, why are you so concerned about marriage if you know you're not going to stay? I don't understand the idea of people still using marriage to weaponize marriage against women to have sex. I have a problem with that because that comes off low key predatory.
I can give you an idea as to why they're trying to weaponize marriage to get sex from women because they feel like women are weaponizing. Women are weaponizing marriage as an incentivation to get to their pockets. My thing, it's an age old adage. Women use sex to get love. Men use love to get sex. And as far as this, how long should a man wait for used box? How long should a woman wait before used stick?
Basically.
Come on now, like I get the whole concept. I hate that they use it, but I understand it. If one man is holding one glass and every man licks from that glass, should he then sip from that glass? Well, if one woman is holding one stick and every woman then rub their juices all over the stick, should she then take that stick and shove it up in her? It doesn't make no damn sense. We talking about something that's so stupid. It's 6 degrees of separation from everybody, from the very person that you either looking at, sitting next to, or who you laying next to in bed. Excuse me for a second. Hey, baby,
Hi, honey.
how you doing?
Honey, you just making sure ain't no Jill Scott's videos coming up and ain't
Oh,
nobody
Lord.
cutting up.
Oh shit!
Oh,
There's no Jill Scotts today.
Nah, I'm
no,
just
Jill.
messing with y'all. I don't give a damn about that damn Jill Scott video. Check it out though. Y'all know what the lick here for. This is all game.
Hmm.
This is game so that women know, these niggas don't want to marry you, but give them some sex anyway because they need the box. It's devaluing women so that women don't have no right to have no standards and they can still get all the sex they want.
I mean,
Agreed.
Oh,
isn't that what the
we on
sexual?
Chris's StreamYard Genesis. That's why Chris don't
Yeah,
love me like that. Only my baby.
Uh,
that's crazy.
ain't no one email me nothing.
So, Rod, you're saying that the men that allowed for the quote unquote third wave feminism with the sexual revolution for women to just be free with giving up the box to whoever actually did it, subverted the best interest of the movement.
Yeah.
Mm.
They made it so yeah, women, y'all free. Give it away out of both pants legs, but you know, men ain't gonna want to marry you. And it's cool because men don't want to get married anyway, because they don't really want to some men. Some men, let me say some men if I had to kill somebody. Some men don't want the responsibility anyway. They don't want to really actually have to take care of their children, the household, or you know what I'm saying, nothing. They just want to get the vagina and then move along.
Absolutely. I agree.
Yep, me too.
And now they got y'all playing head games with yourselves. Like, oh my God, why does he want to commit? Oh my God, he never wanted to commit. Are you okay?
Oh, we getting story times. We getting what they call them, PowerPoint presentations. Let's go.
Let's
Nah,
do it.
nah, I ain't got. I don't. I had nothing. I just make sure.
Damn, Chris, how many brothers you got?
All of them.
All of them. It's about 50 left of the niggas on the screen right now. What the hell?
Hey man. Hey man. Shout out to AI. They it's very beneficial.
Exactly, Jen. So y'all just need to get the wee and get the money and move on. But then they say y'all 304s. So which one is it? Are you gonna complain about the 304s that you do get, or are you gonna complain about the women who are far exceeding the quality of women that you're used to, and you want them to be 304s, and also you want them to pay half of the bills, but you don't want them to work. You see how this doesn't make no sense?
Nah,
Oh, and
just
also
stop.
my bad. My bad. We want poly relationships, but we only want it poly one way. We want to have outside women, so we want the quality woman who stays at home and take care of the kids, and also she got to pay half. And we also want to be able to go out here and get other box. This makes no fucking sense.
See, and this is why I
Wait, you
don't.
forgot.
Go ahead.
While our weebies are trash and we can't last more than 3 minutes. Whoops.
Come
Well,
on now.
I'm not
Got a
doing it.
pap. We got a. They got a pack. They got a. How they do it? They got to pop a damn honey pack just to breathe. Come on, man.
Those honey pack. You understand? It's the 20-year-olds taking the honey packs. It's the 20-year-olds taking the honey packs, which is mind-boggling. They're taking the Cialis. They taking the Viagra.
I don't even want.
I have a relative who works in the pharmaceutical industry. Okay, she tells me that it's more 20 to 30-year-olds on prescriptions for these dick pills. Right? They're going at the gas station and they're going to CVS and they're going to Walgreens and they're going to Rite Aid to get these dick pills. Then it is these 56 actually these 50 and 60-year-old men is just out here doing they getting their little shot of testosterone and they working out, they taking care of themselves, they eating better, they done stop with the drugs, they stop with a whole bunch of things. It's more younger dudes on these penile additives and supplements than it is the older guys.
Hey man, 20 year
That's
20-year-old
because
20-year-old taking honey pack is wild. This is crazy.
that's because they're not
Y'all need to
getting
leave the
home.
point. Y'all need to leave point alone. Jesus.
That's because they're not getting home cooked meals. That's why cooking with Kaya got them all excited. Cooking with Kaya.
Kanye,
Cooking with
cooking with
Kaya.
Kanye.
We gonna leave cooking with Kaya alone because I know some of y'all gonna be upset once she find her way to YouTube, and I'm gonna leave it at that. But I don't know. I'm try to hold out for now just a little bit longer, but since we got Raw Omni here, I'd like to hear you guys take. Earlier question was asked, what's the difference between yesterday's woman and today's woman? My response to that is real simple: camera and internet. Other than that, they're all the same. There's
Yeah,
no big
well,
difference.
this is like we're moving. Whenever society moves to a more liberal mind, this is like we saw this with the Greeks. This is how women will behave. You know what I'm saying? When we lose touch of certain constructs in certain societal constructs.
Time out. 1
The
second.
the
Hold on. I'm
what?
gonna let you go. But the old man said they don't want to eat cootie. I don't know. I don't know anybody that says that. Oh, is there something I'm missing?
That was a thing like for like dudes in the 70s and whatnot.
Nah, I heard some Jamaicans say that to this day. I
Oh
heard,
yeah.
but I don't.
Niggas these days that say they won't eat the cootie cat.
Huh?
It's dudes these days that say they don't eat the cootie cat, but they
Oh yeah,
love to
that's
eat
right.
it.
They're lying.
Sharon said that.
They're
Sharon
lying.
They love it. They love to go ahead and dive head first into that back door,
Okay,
but they
so
don't eat the cootie cat.
let me go.
Oh wow.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is me talking. They're lying. They're lying. They do it. What are we doing here? They're all liars. You heard it here first. Okay, my
Like,
bad. Go ahead.
well, I'm saying that, well, on this note, since we're here now, I just I find I find sex for personal gratification is boring. You know what I'm saying? You get a nut and then what? You know what I mean? Like she got to squirm. I need the leg to shake. You know what I'm saying? I need her to be out of breath. The faces that women make when you listen, it's all types of nuances. But back to originally what I was saying, like, yeah, women have always been this way. Women have been sexually inclined. It's just that in in modernity, you know what I'm saying, women have been some dudes don't think some dudes are walking around with the notion that women don't enjoy sex. Like women don't like sex like men like sex. I'm here to say that women like sex more than men. I'm convinced that women enjoy sex on a higher level than men can. Like the women experience multiple orgasms. And it's not like, you know what I'm saying, to refill like dudes need. I'm saying back to back to back to back to back. So to say that, you know what I'm saying, to say that women, this is new activity we're seeing out of women. No, they just have greater access to things. They have more freedoms than they've ever had. And so they're being what they've always been since times of old. This is why prostitution is known as the oldest profession.
You got to keep it real. The ones that's out here complaining, it's because they women don't enjoy Mr. Nasty time with them.
Oh, I get it. So dudes want more options of females because they want to get woe out like a female. Got it.
No, because they want a female that will be wore out by them.
But they can't hang though.
But this is the thing: most men don't have the appropriate appetite nor skill set to get the
Listen,
job done.
baby, these dudes are saying that they want 6 women at one time. Most of these dudes offer one honey pack can only last maybe about a good 10, 15 minutes. If that second, third woman ain't get no action, it's over for him. You are
Yep.
creating a monster. Do you know what? Listen, do you know what happens? Now, we already know what happens when dudes don't get sex, right? We get crazy. When women don't get sex and they horny as hell, they get crazy.
They get
Okay?
violent.
They
No,
get
they go in the
violent. They
bathroom.
will
Very
beat your
violent.
ass. Okay, they'll beat your ass over something. All right. So this whole notion that women don't like sex, that's out the damn window. Catch a woman that ain't had none in about a good, I don't know. I'll just give or take a year, right? Because women be like, oh, I can hold out for a year. Let you run into the wrong nigga, or wrong man. Let you run into everything that you've been thinking about. Them little nasty books y'all be reading. I be seeing them books. These nasty movies y'all be watching. I be watching the movies. These nasty talks y'all be having, y'all little girl circle. I be hearing y'all. But here's the thing though. Let you run into the right man at the wrong time, and it's over. So where is this whole notion that women don't like sex? Women like to throw it down, bust it out the frame, tie you up, do shit. So these dudes that saying that they want multiple women, y'all just want all the freaks, but you can't handle it. You can barely handle the one that you got. But go
Well,
ahead, keep on saying that you want this poly thing.
this is the thing about the freak shit, right? Most dudes don't understand that every woman is a freak, low key. It's just that the dudes fall for the stuff like how women play the role in society in a normal basis, like that librarian, or you know what I'm saying, the chick that is a supervisor at FedEx or some shit like that. It, or she or she's somebody's secretary. All of them operate in a
That's a
similar
lie.
fashion. No, y'all all freaks, raw. Let's keep it real.
No. Most of these women is pillow princesses. Let's keep it. Let's keep it.
I'm gonna tell you the truth. A lot of women got a great imagination, right? But ask them the truth. Why that rose and snatching souls? It's because it gets the job done. Allegedly, I have heard within a few minutes, and then they go into sleep. They really can't go to Pound Town,
No, they cannot.
and they don't have no athleticism. Every woman will be on top of on top of the carnival ride, and they're gonna stay up there for 5 minutes max. They're like, "Ooh, it's your turn," because that arena requires work. These hoes is lazy.
I'll
Yep.
give you that one. Yeah, no, I'll give you that one. But I'm
Yeah.
talking about as much as they like sex. As much as they like sex.
They
Every
don't
woman
like
likes
sex. They
sex.
like to come.
I mean, that's true for men too, but
Nah, men like sex. Men got all different positions, stand up, doing all that. You know what? Let me be quiet. I don't know nothing. But
You ain't never tried a Superman position, bro? It's amazing. The Olympian?
women,
Now it is. Where the hell are you?
women don't got it. Women don't got it. What
I
they
like the
got?
chicken leg with the leg up.
There you go. There you post some sauce on that motherfucker. Yeah. Sprinkle some lemon pepper on that bitch. Yeah.
Let me go. Y'all doing
All
too much.
right, get it, Reverend. Moving on, moving on, moving on, moving on, moving on. Let's get to the. Let's
No,
get to.
hold on. Before you move on. No, like real shit though. Like my man's Drex.
Baby,
I'm always clowning and joking about Drex, right? But we've had conversations. We've been in situations like this, and fellas, we know this. I mean, hell, women, y'all know this too. Dude be like, hell yeah, I'm about to do this. I'm about to do that. That nigga can't do nothing. He get in there 3 pumps in. That nigga heavy breathing. He out of breath. He's sweating hard as hell. He ain't even did nothing. Y'all women in the chat, y'all know the truth. Y'all know I ain't lying. Shit. Ain't nothing worse than a nigga saying that he gonna do everything and he done got you all riled up, and then he get there and this nigga just be like, I just need to take a nap right quick. I need to do some push-ups, get myself pumped up. Come on, man. Or even, fellas, y'all know what it's like. She be like, oh, I'ma suck it till the skin come off. You like, oh, I'ma ride it till the bed break. Oh. And then she get there, she be like, I'ma just lay here. You're like, what is this?
and first of all, if somebody bring all the food right to the buffet, do they got to cook it too?
Nah, they ain't got to cook it too, but you ain't gonna promise me a home cooked meal, then I get you back to the house, and then you sit there talking about you want to order DoorDash. That ain't gonna work.
I mean, DoorDash is a home cooked meal.
Yo, Jack, what up, though?
Yeah, since Nadish is taking a little bit too long, and y'all done turn my shit into a Sunday night freak fest. We gonna get to that next
Well,
time.
we getting it off our chest. Hey, did you say get it off your chest?
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, you're right.
Come on now, Chris.
Go
She
ahead.
said, "Come on now, Chris." She said she about to bust it out wild style. You get it back to the house, and she just lay there. You gonna be like, "Man, what is this?"
Yeah, I call that lazy pussy. I know.
Thank you, thank
I,
you.
I I had a couple of those in my lazy stiff. Yeah, I mean, we're not going to talk about that. We're just
Not
going to leave it at
stiff, not stiff. Now, ladies, I'm gonna tell you, just sometimes you may want to just lay there, but you better have some motion. Just throw it back a little bit, just a little bit.
That's when you supposed to crack that whip, slap across that ass, leave some whips. Anyway, let's move on to the
that.
to the
Ah, listen, y'all see, he cutting up. He only cutting up because he on Chris show. That's the only reason he cutting up.
I'm bringing my paddle with me.
I really hate Starfish Nation. I really do.
Not Starfish Nation,
Starfish.
rise up.
No,
Genesis. I'm about to boot Genesis out the chat. Did she say Starfish Nation?
I really
Rise
hate.
up.
I really do. I really hate them.
Something
Now,
wrong with y'all.
last topic. Like I said,
I
Will
never even
Club.
got to answer the question though.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Rob. Go right ahead.
The only difference between yesterday's woman and today's woman is yesterday's man and today's man. Yesterday's man was out there getting it, hustling, grinding hard. Today's man is out here scamming and
Hey,
boofing,
hey, hey,
boofing.
y'all do me a favor. Take over. I gotta do something at my job. I'll be right back. Y'all take over real quick.
Okay.
I got you.
Today's man is a scammer. They lazy. They want to be taken care of. Today's man want to be a bad bitch. They watch too many Pootie Tang videos. I don't know. Why the tots of the Sunny Tang? I can't call it.
Do you think that's because of the era of black exploitation?
Absolutely.
Because during the era of black exploitation, right, the black man was projected to be this awesome mother effer. You see what I'm saying? That he ain't gotta do nothing. He could just sit back, he could snap his fingers, and money just come rolling into his hands because he was just this badass. Nowadays, a lot of these dudes just want to turn on the YouTube camera, huh? And turn on the microphone and set up some graphics and call it a show, and they just want to get paid. Hmm? Most of these dudes have dreams or aspirations that they're gonna make it to some big league, some big sports league, and they're gonna get guaranteed money from a multi-year contract. That ain't how it works. Most dudes now they can't get out here and do 18 hours at a job, come right home, get a couple hours of sleep, go to another job, and then go to another job. They don't know multiple sources of income.
Mm-mm.
And I'm not even gonna leave that just up to the men. I just say people in general don't know what that means. They might catch a lick, but then they think that lick gonna last forever. No, that lick don't last forever.
You know it's hard out here for a pimp.
Shit.
Mm. Oh,
Oh,
child, not being
Okay.
ambiguous is free.
Sorry about that. My job had me do something stupid per usual.
Chris, you ain't working. You pimping out there.
I don't know what you're talking about, and nor would I ever confirm or deny that on the stream. But we're gonna get to the next topic.
we ain't
So
gonna talk about that candy apple that low rider that Chris got. We ain't gonna talk about that.
I ain't
Mm-hmm.
got no candy apple loaf. So next topic, like you said, shout out. I should Rob, you as well. I'm actually glad you're here. Shout out to you. Shout out to Sales. Shout out to Kulo. Exceptional work you guys are doing regarding Priscilla. Hey, you guys, my stance on that is real simple. I pray for justice for the victims, and I pray for accountability against the predators. So
Amen.
we'll leave it at that, and we'll wait to see what happens next. Now, I was waiting for Niners to come up because I wanted to talk to him about his comments yesterday. Just just didn't sit well with me yesterday. I was able to sit with it and think about it. I was like, I understand where he's coming from. Maybe not the time or the place for that. Now, Priscilla is being accused of grooming. Basic characteristics of grooming. Go look it up. Nidish believes that because she's a woman, there's no such thing as grooming. It doesn't apply to women due to what society has dictated. And that was his stance. He says, had he done the same thing that Priscilla did, he'd have been thrown underneath the jail. Society doesn't treat women with the same what's what I'm looking for? With the same
Accountability.
with the same consequences. They treat them with
Mm.
kid gloves. So whatever word that we conjure up for what Priscilla's doing, it's not going to stick because she's a woman. My my stance, Will's stance, Kulu's stance, most people's stance is real simple. Put that to the side. I understand what he's saying, and to some degree, he might be absolutely correct that the society is going to be a little bit more harsher on the men. However, we're asking. I guess this is where he. Well, I'm not even going to pronounce that E word before I say slash my tongue. What we're saying is what she did was grooming. If you want to find another word that will describe a woman groomer, go right ahead. But that doesn't negate the fact that either she targeted, compromised, or weaker women to join her movement, and I put that in air quotes, or B, these women are already broken and they so happen to find Priscilla and she just fuck it, taking advantage of it. So I wanted to speak to Nidish and I wanted to give him the platform and I wanted to just have a conversation regarding, or more so a reaction of, it doesn't matter if it's a man or woman. what she did was wrong, and she needs to be held accountable if found guilty and all this. Although the evidence are pointing that she's guilty, but she does need to be held accountable. It doesn't matter if she's a female or not.
Well, I can tell you this much, and this is I'm gonna echo what I was saying yesterday. I'm gonna add a little bit more to it. The behavior of a predator is not gender specific. The problem with most predators is that society will stand to protect them. You know that they got this whole thing called maps, and with maps they have these things called tent cities. And in these tent cities, this is where all of these. Oh shit! Yeah, y'all take over for a second.
That's all good. I'm Nita.
They left you.
That's all good.
No, I'm still here. I just got to do this thing right quick.
Ain't nobody mind your business. Ain't you doing what you're doing? I can talk whatever junk I want to talk. But the thing is this, really and truly. There can never be accountability for women because while they're having the conversation, they start in on this woe is me and I'm a victim stuff. Be a victim when it's time for you to be a victim. At the point when somebody's holding someone accountable or at least attempting to, then you should just rally and champion the cause because it shouldn't be unbalanced in a world we live in where there's supposed to be equality. But men can never let the conversation be what it needs to be for the most part. They always want to turn it into whatever they want it turned into. That was not a men's suffrage moment. That was about holding a female to accountability. It was distasteful and it was bad timing.
Yeah, to what Nigel was saying, I'm more than willing to have that. Omni, you back?
Yeah, I'm back. Where
Oh,
we
go
at?
ahead, man. No, my take. I don't know if you saw Will stream yesterday when it was a reaction to one of Priscilla's victims, and night Priscilla's being accused of being a groomer. Um,
I can see that.
Now Nida's take on this was we can't call it grooming because she's a female and she's not going to be held to the same standards as what a man would. So that title does not apply to her because society says she's a woman or the law is going to treat her like kid gloves. That was not his whole stance, and we were trying to tell him it's not gender specific when it comes to grooming in context of this conversation that we was having.
Got you. Okay. No, women can groom. Women definitely can groom. All these teachers that are having sex with these underage boys. You mean to tell me that a person in that position of power that has access to that child on a day in, day out basis isn't grooming them? So yeah, women can groom, bro. Women can groom. I'd have to disagree with Nidish on that one. It's not specifically for men, but what happens is that men being typically the more savage of the species, like the male of any mammalian creature, of most let me say that most mammalian creatures are you know what I'm saying, the more aggressive of the two genders and the two sexes. So we just tend to attribute aggressive behavior or predatory behavior to men more than women because of that. But women have proven to be very capable of the same and some even more horrific things than men are, just from the fact that we tend to overlook certain behaviors that women are able to do because of what I just stated. So yeah, I think, and I could definitely see Princella being a groomer, 100%.
Um, yeah, that's correct. And we saw her what she did to some of the males in the space, and
Mm-hmm.
to Will's point, she was able to do that in public for everybody to see. Albeit she was making fools of them, she was able to do that public. So it kind of wonders What are you doing in private? No cameras, no internet, nobody watching. What are you doing? So that's also fair to think of regarding this case. Now, has she turned herself in? Don't know. I'll let the laws take care of that. But but one thing I told Knight is I do not allow society to dictate my movements. If this is what I want to do, this is what I'm going to do. It doesn't matter what anybody. It doesn't matter what anybody says at all. Because whatever decisions I make, I'm willing to live with those quote unquote consequences because this is what I want to do. You can't tell me like, well, let me not go there. I'll say that for another stream when nobody's on the panel. You you can't, because if you really go by what society wants, men are supposed to be docile in comparison to the women. So with that, as men, are we going to bow down? Are we just going to bow down because they're women? Or are we just going to stand on our 2 feet because this is what we're going to do and can no one tell us nothing? If I put my life in society's hand, I'm not who I am today. I'm whatever they want me to be, and I would not be here where I'm at right now. That goes for all men.
Yeah.
Respectfully. Hold on. Let me. Sorry. Let me add this and let me move this down. All right. Cool. All right. Raw's back. Raw, you there?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yep. Loud and clear.
Oh, okay. Listen, this StreamYards is doing too damn much. Okay, got it. And then I had to log back in, and anyway, a whole bunch of stuff. So this is the thing, right? Giselle Maxline, Heidi Fleiss. They were two of the biggest groomers that got persecuted the hardest. I don't even remember the lady's name that slept with a little boy and got pregnant in Florida. She got prosecuted pretty hard as well. The problem is the occurrences that the media publicizes. The punishment for women is seemingly off balance because women are not committing grooming offenses and getting caught to the degree that men are. Men are grooming, manipulating, raping, pillaging, and plundering at an alarming rate. So when you don't see it, and especially when you're not kept abreast of the news, right? When your daily news comes from your YouTube feed, how would you know? Especially if your algorithm is tuned to how horrible men are being treated in society instead of the reality of what society is.
Hey, hey, when you're right, you're right. Uh, Returning BTSI show. Smitty, what's good, man?
But up, Smitty.
Respect, respect. No, I'm in the car. I'm just listening. I just wanted to hang out for a quick second. I might hop off soon as I get to the house and then I'll pop back on when I get inside.
Nah, it's all good, man.
Salute to the family. I just want to show some love. Happy New Year's to everybody.
Salute. What up, though?
Now,
Happy New
salute.
Year.
Happy New Year's and all that.
We didn't even say Merry Christmas to each other. Feliz Navidad, porque lo hablo
For
de
real,
mis
for real.
vidas.
You just
Merry
butchered
Christmas,
that.
mother effers.
But Smitty, how much of the conversation have you heard?
Smitty, you there?
Yeah, I'm right here. My bad. No, I might be on a delay. I've heard only just a portion so far, so that's why I just want to ride and listen.
No, it's all good. But pretty much, we're talking about how when it comes to society, they're not going to hold women to the same standards as men. But with that being said, that still doesn't give the right for women to do what they do. Because matter of fact, I get what Nigel was saying, and I agree with him. Historically speaking,
Mm-hmm.
society is going to favor women more. But the reason why that can be dangerous because when you highlight that part, it's going to give more credence for female predators to do what they do. Because while everybody is hiding behind women would never do this because they will never be held to the same standard, they're going to be like, oh, they're not going to hold us to the same standard, then let me go ahead and continue, quote unquote, grooming women because all I'm going to get is a slap on the wrist or nothing at all. So I get what
So,
Madison is saying. It's just that's dangerous messaging.
so what I would say to that in a nutshell, real quick, because I'm getting ready to pull up. So this will be my response to that as I go in the house. I'm gonna come right back up because I'm gonna tap on that. If that's the case that men are complaining about women having more privileges or whatever, then we need to shut the F up about having a patriotic society. If men want to be the leaders and the rulers or whatever, then some of these things come with it. A little bit of cushiness or some things like, I don't know, free for ladies, drink before 9 and shit like that. You're going to get that. And with that being said, I digress. My mic is muted. Let me get in the house and I'm going to tap in with y'all in like about 5 minutes.
All right, that.
Salute.
And that was my. I think that was everybody's point. Granted, where we was highlighting, we was talking about because she's a woman, this is what she did. She needs to be held accountable for her actions against these victims. But again, by saying society will protect women is actually empowering female predators. I'm not saying that's what Natters was doing. I'm not saying that at all. But what I am saying by that messaging will enhance more predators in our society. Because if I have to really keep it a buck, there's more female predators than what the numbers say officially.
I agree with that because most men won't report it happening to them at all. And then also we have to take into account the number of women that are preying on women as well, like allegedly with Princella.
Now, can we just rip the Band-Aid off and keep it a stack?
Yep.
How about all the little boys that be getting some coochie from older women and men be like, attaboy, that's how you do it. Oh, you a man now. You got some hair on your nuts, all of this and all of that. So you can't celebrate the grooming and then say that women are not being held accountable.
That's keeping it a thou wow.
Mm-hmm.
That's keeping it a thou wow for sure.
Yep, I got none. Yep, I got none. I got none for that. That is absolutely correct. And
I mean, come on now. It's your three gentlemen on the panel. How many times your little friends when y'all was growing up was being grown in the Hyundai? How many men have an affinity for older women simply because when they were younger, they was, you know what I'm saying? They got some booty from some older chick. Now that's what they stuck for. Nobody was saying there was a problem. Just like a lot of chicks like older men because they was getting beat down by the older dudes. And nobody said it was a problem until everybody's older now. Now everybody has issues with whatever. So that was grooming. Welcome
We're
to
gonna
the
keep
culture.
it all the way at being.
All the way of being.
That's how I got started in sex.
oh,
It was an older female. I'm just gonna be honest with you.
And I bet you
But
your
I
people
was
was just like, oh, attaboy, that's how you pop it off, right?
sure was, sure in the hell was. I was celebrated. I was saluted. Got handshakes and everything. As a matter of fact, I ain't gonna say which family member it was, but hell, that's how I got started. They went was like shit. Go get you an older woman. She can go ahead and show you how to get this thing popping. We're just gonna keep it all the way a bing. So it's not like you hear dudes say it all the time. Oh, when my son get of a certain age, I'm gonna take him to get his first piece. So we just not gonna be honest about it. We're not gonna be
You
honest about hell. I'll be honest. When I was in high school, it was most of the older niggas that was pulling up, waiting on the side of the road, and them young girls running out there to them cars. Let's rip the band-aid all the way off. And I graduated in 2008. So this ain't nothing new. This is happening way before I was in high school. So let's keep it all the way a bang.
and I'm not gonna name the state. I'm not even gonna name the artist. However, if you know, you know. And I'm gonna say alleged. In a particular state that I will not name, men will take their sons, 10, 11, 12, whatever. They'll take them to get either their first pussy or they'll get one of the chicks to go get them head.
Mm.
Just to get them
Speaking,
started the game. Do not name to the audience. Do not type the state. Do not type the people's name in the chat. Just if you know, you know. Just keep it to yourself.
speaking of artists, right? I just wanted to always know on the remix to Ignition, what adult vehicle goes toot toot and beep beep?
Wow.
Let me get that toot toot. So they give me that beep beep.
I've had plenty of cars. Not one goes toot toot or beep beep in my adult life.
Sam, I don't know. A lot of people really don't want to have that conversation. I was having a conversation with my brother about it years ago, and we was talking about. I was like, dog, how many chicks? And when you was in school, the bell ring, that final bell ring, you know, everybody is running out to school. You know what I'm saying? They want to go, either it's a fight about to happen, or everybody want to, you know, congregate and talk about the day, or everybody rushing to the bus, everybody rushing outside to their parents' cars. Then you see that old mother freaker sitting out there. Don't he ain't got not one kid in that school. And it'd be a group of them old dudes sitting out there scooping up them young chicks. And they running top speed.
Listen, one of my friends used to have this dude car all the time. And this dude was grown. Like he was like 30 something. And she was like 16, 17. Stop the cab. Like, mm, child, listen. These
Shout
men
out
be
to those.
giving their whole life away for the young girls. Hmm.
But it ain't just the young girls. I mean, I'm gonna keep it all the way a stack. I ain't gonna say what high school I went to, but I'll say some of them teachers, them female teachers in there, when we was in there in the workout room lifting weights, them teachers didn't have no business walking up in there. Oh, I'm just coming in here to check on my students. No, you ain't.
Exactly.
No, you ain't.
You see the lady in Georgia that is getting arrested for assaulting a young boy, one of her students.
I ain't gonna say the name of my math teacher or what grade I was in, but I'm gonna just tell you like this. That math teacher used to always come downstairs and we was in ROTC and we was doing down there doing our PT and stuff like that. Talking about she coming down there to drop off extra credit work. But you stand down there having the whole conversation. Come on now. Let's keep it all the way out.
For me, I think I told this before. I was how old was I? No, I was 18. I do remember that part. I was 18. Obviously, she was a teacher, and her and I always hug and kiss. Nothing, nothing new. And she would go. Matter of fact, she even brought me to the teachers' lounge. Hold on, just hold your horses, you guys, before y'all jump the gun. She brought me to the teachers' lounge, and she even asked her coworkers, "Hey, hey guys, if y'all found out me and him was going together, would y'all have a problem with that?" All the teachers in the lounge said no. All these teachers said
Wow.
absolutely no, absolutely not. They would have no problem with that. Now, I did to cover her. I did say I am 18, by the way. Just let y'all know I'm a legalized adult. But I was like, damn.
Yeah, they didn't care. They didn't care. Now imagine the reverse of that. Imagine you was a female.
Yeah, right.
Okay, exactly.
Yeah,
You see what
right.
I'm saying? Now see,
Nailing
even
her to
with
the
you,
cross.
even with you saying that story, most dudes will hear that story. It was like, man, shit, congratulations, my nigga. You know what I'm saying? You doing your thing.
Right.
But let a female tell that same story. Me and my teacher were hug and kiss, and he took me to the teacher's lounge and said, "Hey, If y'all found out that me and her was messing around, would you have a problem with it? Oh, he's a
Let all
PDF
of them
file.
be male teachers too. And they're like, no, every last one of them fired.
Exactly. So to Nidus's point, I get it.
Mm-hmm.
And I understand the underlying message that or the underlying premise that he was setting, that when it comes to men and women, that its society is perceived different. But even with this whole thing with Princella, I put it on the people and say, if y'all okay with this, y'all nasty. Now, back in my days when I was 16 and I was messing with that older woman, hell yeah, I didn't think nothing of it. But having the having the clarity that I do now, I look back on it, yeah, that woman was wrong, bro. But are we willing to say that to this day? That if you out here messing with a child, and I say child because 16, 17, 18, you ain't an adult yet. A lot of people say, oh, with a legal age of consent, I don't want to talk about no legal age of consent. The hell with that.
Nope.
You're messing with a
that
child.
conversation, right? Not to interrupt you, but let's be honest. In that conversation, there are Romeo and Juliet laws. So the legal age of consent is only legal within a certain age range, and we're usually talking 2 or 3 years, maybe 4 on a good day. So what do these people be talking about? Either way you slice it, if you not okay, so if you are a 17-year-old and you're messing with a 16-year-old, or you are a 17-year-old, you mess with a 15-year-old, then it's legal. Outside of that, it's still what it is. That's the actual definition of the law. Y'all look up Romeo and Juliet laws. That's the only reason the age of consent is what it is. For them little fast kids doing too damn much and ain't nobody watching them.
Correct. Not to include, in most states, I need to check the data and see if it's still to this day, they had arranged marriages at 12, 13, 14 years old.
Right, but we ain't gonna act like Mrs. Robinson wasn't a thing. No pun intended. Here's to you, Mrs. Robinson. What was that? The Teachers Associate or something like that. It was a Woody Harrelson movie about a young man that was sleeping. No, The Graduate. That's what it was. The Graduate sleeping with an older woman. Celebrated film.
More
In
for
like the
me,
70s.
74 says people
Hold
need
on.
to go ahead.
I got it. Cowboy, what's up, y'all? And you guys, for those who don't know, Cowboy, that's my guy. He's from he knows me from Clubhouse. So that previous conversation regarding King Chicago, trust me, he knows all about that too well as well. Now, Cowboy's comment is people need to raise their kids and stop calling 8-year-olds children. I understand where he's coming from because 18 in the States is a legalized adult. So, Cowboy, to that, I agree. But I also tell you this, had my father, for those who don't know, my dad is not from this country. He's a foreigner, Nigeria to be exact. Had he found out that happened between me and my teacher, if he can legally get away with it, he'll knock that teacher's head off his shoulders, and he'll proceed to go find a state to go upside my head as well because he knew I knew better.
But dig this though. Okay, my
So
bad. Go ahead. I thought you were done. Go ahead.
no, you good. So, Cowboy, I understand legally I can do whatever I want. However, there are some cases like just because you turn 18, you're still not fully adult in the brain. There's still going to be some spots that you miss, and you're just gonna have to learn that as we get older. We all have to learn that. So legally, he's good, but mentally, nah. 18. The opposite word is teen. In 18, he's still a child. So he's just a legalized teenager, if that makes sense. But that's an oxymoron in of itself.
The name of this show is Get It Off Your Chest, right?
Yes.
All right, cool. Bet. So it's 18 over here in America, the same 18 over there in India. The reason I asked that question is what benefits do you unlock at 18 years old that makes you an adult? Are we talking about smoking? Are we talking about drinking? Are we talking about government recognition? Are we talking about society saying that 18 years old and is adult? Because I can point you to some 40, 50, 60-year-old people who still have a childish mindset. So what is we calling an adult? What
Well,
makes an 18-year-old an adult?
here's the thing.
Well, hold on. Wait 1 second. The reason I asked that question is because in some states at the age of 18, you can buy cigarettes. But over in India, at the age of 4, there's a child with a cigarette addiction. And if his parents do not include his cigarette addiction into their budget every month, that child will lose his mind. So I say again, what at 18 years old concludes you to be an adult? Go
So
ahead.
here's the thing. Parents are required to take care of their children in the United States up until they're 26 years old. You ever try to get your own student loans? It's real hard to do that. You got to prove that you are not somebody's dependent on their taxes. And if you can't get insurance, guess what? If you have a child and your child is under the age of 26, you'll be penalized for them not having health insurance. So is that really an adult?
Oh, really?
Yeah. You could remain on your parents' insurance until you're 25 or 26. Yes.
I
Yeah,
can
but I
get
didn't
real.
know it was mandated.
My bad. Go ahead, Omni.
I said I didn't. This is new information. I knew that you can be on your parents' insurance until 26, but I didn't know it was mandated. That
Of course.
wow. I'll say this, and I gotta go because I'm about to eat dinner with my wife. But this is the thing. I think since science has come so long of a way for us to know for a fact that that the human mind doesn't fully develop until age 25. I think that's what the age of consent should be. I think you shouldn't be able to do most things until age 25, like choose whether or not to drink, smoke, or I won't say carry a license, but the all of the above, definitely drink, smoke, and consent to sexual activity. Because when I think of like all the niggas in the hood that I know that had run-ins and whatnot and are dealing with the baby mama issue and all of this, most of them had their kids and had most of their mistakes made by before the age of 25. Most of their major fuck ups, those self-inflicted injuries that they have to recover from, happen before the age of 25.
Mm-hmm.
Hey,
So
watch this.
So I think it's supposed to be the age 25 for a lot of things. But go ahead, Will.
Omni, before you go, watch this. This is what I argue for people who say that 18 is the legal age of an adult. Did you know that in Rhode Island, there's a specific YouTube people who I don't want to name. Did you know that in Rhode Island that the age of consent was, what is it, 15? Even when it comes down to family on family sexual activity, it's 15. These same people are now propagating for the age to be lowered to 14. And they're actually working on a bill within their state. And I'm not just talking about these people, but there's other people that believe in this as well. That family on family sexual interaction, it can be considered consensual. I'm sorry, can be considered okay as long as it's consensual at the age of 15. So we have to, it's the mind. This is why I say it's all degenerative. This is why the age of consent conversation always goes left. It's not something that a whole lot of people will purposefully talk about. Because if we're saying that 18 is adult, there's in some places that they're saying that 15 is legal age of consent, even within families. It's not okay, period. I don't care how you look at it.
Facts. Facts. And who wants flipper ass grandchildren like with fins and shit?
Did you just say flipper?
Flipper, yes.
He did.
What was the name of the movie with the dog?
Yeah, it was Flipper. No, the second Harold and Kumar movie. Remember when they had they got to the hillbillies?
White Castle?
No, the second one where they had to escape from Guantanamo, and they had to meet up with George Bush at the end of the movie. Remember when they were out in the redneck's house and he had the nice wife that turned out to be his cousin, and then they had the Cyclops in the basement.
I think I might have seen it in the past, but
oh man, you got to watch Harold and Kumar Escape to Guantanamo. It It was the Cyclops was their child, basically.
So
That's
y'all gonna say y'all gotta give me a chance because I just barely watched Shallow How last week, so y'all gotta give me a chance to get caught up on these movies.
Gotcha. But I'm out, y'all. Peace.
I appreciate
it.
But yeah, we try to hold out, but salute to Nighters.
No, he don't get no salute this time. He ain't pull up. He don't get no
Yeah, he
salute
didn't
this
pull
time.
up.
No, well, it was a last minute thing, so I could definitely cut him some slack.
I said you can put me on the solo screen. It's smoke for Nighters. You ain't pull up. You pulled up any other time. Now that you done got dunked by one crew and you tried to jump on another crew. Now you ain't want to pull up and you tag. So it's smoke. And I sent you a message on Instagram. So it's smoke for Nighters.
Well,
it's up and it's stuck. Like what in the
Don't make me use my wrestling skills and really cut a promo on the Uniteds because I can.
So hold on, y'all. Returning to the BTSI show, he is part of the BTSI team from our Clubhouse days. Ladies and gentlemen, Cowboy is in the motherfucking building. That is More For Me 74. Cowboy, what's good, man? How you feeling? And happy holidays to you, man.
All right, man. I'm good. When you guys have these conversations, I think you have to have an understanding of the law, and sometimes it's just not your lane. You're not used to reading laws. You see like in a small part and you're like, oh, 16's age of consent or 15's age of consent. That's got nothing to do with an adult dealing with a child. Georgia, they had made some laws about molestation. And of course, everybody passed a law because people are thinking about children being molested by adults. But that's not how they wrote the law. They didn't put any ages in there. And so children were sitting there looking at a lot of time because in high school, they're doing things with each other. And usually, especially down here in the South, people who were, the white people would be like, I don't want this black boy, messing with my daughter. And then they would bring it to the attention of the law, or they've been touching each other. And now, you have that. So
right back,
a lot of times they make these laws, to kind of curtail the stuff where they kind of messed up, But yeah, I don't think anywhere in this country, if I'm not mistaken, I don't think one state, not without the permission of the parents, allows that kind of interaction. It's like, and usually that's like the whole thing. It's not just sex. It's like, oh, I want to marry your daughter kind of thing. So these laws are old as hell, but you got to look at the laws and see what they really mean. Go ahead.
You don't think that there's any state in America that allows for what?
Adults to sleep with children, not without permission from the parents. And that's only in a marriage setting.
So I believe.
So, I mean, I know you guys think that, but you would have to show me the law. I know how to interpret laws. So you'd have to show me the law and I'll see what it says. But if you have any questions about a law, you can always call the Attorney General's office of that state that has that law and say, what does this mean? What are you allowed to do? What are you not allowed to do? And and that's what I do a lot of. I'll call the Attorney General's office in a second. That's what they're there for. They pick up the phone. They got whole office buildings full of people that answer those questions.
Jada, I love you, sweetheart. It's all good. Ron, go ahead.
I think it's kind of presumptive and pompous to assume that you're the only person that knows how to read the law, especially when there was a specific example that was given. So especially when it comes down to Rhode Island, but you can do your own research on it if you are unaware. And I don't know if you've taken the time to actually look at that before you came up here to tell people that they don't know how to read the law.
Well, here's the thing. I listened to you. I listened, and I sat down there and I listened, and that's why I said what I said. That's all.
I understand that, but I've done the research on Rhode Island. I've did a whole entire story on these people that's from Rhode Island. I'm very well versed when it comes to reading law and actually applying law, especially when it comes to the subdivisions of law. So what's your question?
I don't have any questions. I didn't come up here with questions. I said that we need to be careful and we need to know how to interpret the law. And so what's also interesting is we always slip back into child molestation and things like that and talk about children when it comes to 18, in 18, 19, 20-year-olds with, and I don't know if this is just a sign of the times and maybe I'm old fashioned, but when I see an 18-year-old and how they act today, most of them, I feel like their parents just didn't raise them because the mindset, if you forget 18, 25, 26, 30-year-olds, I'm like, what are you thinking at this age?
Right.
And so at what point are we going to say you're an adult, get your stuff together? And so that's my problem with, now the 18-year-old's a kid. So now when they're out here breaking into my house, you understand where I'm coming from?
No.
So I'm not even talking about sex. I'm talking about everything. Go ahead.
Now, Cowboy, we're not absolving the an adult from being an adult. If you make, this is one thing that my dad told me. He said, I don't have the luxury of making children like decisions even when I was a child. When you make a mistake, it's gonna be levied as if you were an adult. So I had to learn young and I had to learn real quick that my actions have real life consequences, even on the stage of an adult. We're not saying that we're going to treat them like kid gloves, or we're going to they're going to be held accountable as a child. That's not what we were saying. What we're highlighting is when we were kids, we were put in situations that we should have never been put in, and even as we get older, we still shouldn't have been put in those environments. So you have to cut them some slack, cut us some slack for participating in said things. But you talk about the 20s, the 25s, the 30s. Yeah, I understand. You still gonna make some childish mistakes, but the accountability and the consequences are always going to be as if you're an adult. Always.
It's the same for 18, and so there was an urgency with my parents to make sure that by the time we hit 18, because it was like even at 16, it wasn't just the parents, the whole neighborhood, the teachers. They're like, hey, you're getting up there in age, and then you do this, that, and the third. It's going to be on you. You got to be thinking about the decisions that you're making, because that's what the law, in most countries, that's what the law is. In some countries, they let you drink at 18. We put it at 21, which I think is odd, because we put a lot of things at 21, but they have no problem with putting a gun in your hand and sending you to war to kill people at 18. So that's kind of weird. But, I think that people are not raising their kids, and they're so busy babying and coddling, their children. Your children are always going to be your children, no matter how old they get. They'll be 50 and that's still your baby, but to everybody else, that's a grown person. So if you're 18, and you do something wrong or you make the bad decision, the country's going to, according to this country, you're going to have to, deal with the consequences. They're not going to treat you as a child.
So here's the thing, right?
Go ahead, Rob.
According to Freudian theory and the National Institutes of Health and Medicine, the adolescent brain does not complete its full rewiring until age 25. So several investigators consider the age span of adolescents from 10 to 24 years of age. Now, the fact that the laws are not reflective of the science, that's a whole nother conversation. But scientifically, you're still an adolescent until you're 25 years old, which is why child support can still be applied until the age of 25 in some instances.
That's not why. It's not because of development of the brain. That's a whole nother topic. That's a money grab by the government. They don't want to be respected. It's not because they're not, because child support, they don't even care about these kids. So that's a whole nother. That's a whole. They don't. The government. You think the government cares about your children? No, they don't.
So anyway, that's not the point that I was making, and I understand that child support may be a trigger for you. But
no. That's not what I said. That's
That's a
not what I
fact.
said. I heard
That's
about
a
that.
fact.
I heard about the brain development part over and over
Well, hold
again.
on for a second. She wasn't done.
And no,
Nah, it's
she was
good
She
done.
wasn't
because
done.
She was
it's
done.
good
No, she
because
She
wasn't done.
was
listen,
done,
Pitbull, I
No, she
and then
wasn't
she
wasn't
cut
done.
me
actually.
off. She cut me off when I was responding to what she said.
Actually, I was not done.
You actually was, but go ahead.
No, she wasn't.
I really
Yes, she was.
wasn't.
Yes, she
Hold on,
was.
hold on, Rob, I got
She
the
had
mic. Rob,
stopped talking before I started talking.
No, I actually took a
Give Rob the
pause, and
mic. Give
because
Rob the
you were
mic.
so
Give Rob the
thirsty to
mic.
speak,
Who this? Oh,
and you
my
just
bad.
felt like I was done, I
I
was
know
not
you're upset about
done.
what I'm saying. That's all good.
Hey,
No,
I'm
she's not upset.
upset.
You just
Rob.
you're not susceptible to the
Let's not do this.
information.
Let's not do this. Let's not do this.
Who is upset? Upset for what, sir? You came up here being very presumptuous
Oh
in your
my God, you're still
conversation
talking about
and
that.
your tone. Exactly, because I'm
You're still
going
talking
to.
about it because you're
It seems
upset,
like you're very
No, she's
emotional.
not
and I don't
upset.
care.
You're
I'm
just
not
not
upset at
listening.
all.
You don't have to care.
Exactly.
I don't
Problem
care.
is that you came up being
Nobody cares
presumptuous and
about what
said
you
I don't
no.
say
care.
You
either. You
came
don't
I
know
up
don't
what
being
you're
care.
talking
So
about.
go ahead.
you
You don't know
came
what
up
you're talking about
No,
because you're
you
talking
don't
about
know what
child
no,
you're
you don't
support.
know
talking
what the fuck
about.
you talking
You're talking
about.
about
The
child
fuck?
All
support,
right,
and
everybody.
You sound
One mic
stupid
on
as
me.
The
shit.
fuck you sound
Now I'm
retarded
trying
as
to be
shit, my
We
nice.
are
nigga.
going to
Like,
give. We're going to give the mic back to Raw. I'm gonna let Cowboy respond as soon as Raw is finished. It's just we all family here. We all family here.
so anyway, child support can be paid for children up to the age of 25 because they're still considered children. And the science actually backs that up. But you know how these men do. They get all testosterone filled and they gotta be right. So we're just gonna let homeboy have it. Go ahead, sir. Now I'm done.
you were done before you even started. Child support has nothing to do with them being classified as children, and in the way you're saying children. They even say it.
Here we go.
Even it's even worded. Yeah. So now you're still talking. So it even worded as adult child. So they're still saying that that's an adult. You're not going to be off the hook, just because your kid, because your parents are paying for your college tuition. It's a money grab. Now the development of the brain, the development of the brain thing is interesting. I don't think it necessarily means that the cognitive function necessarily changes, but there's also the thing, like I was saying earlier. I don't know if this is just the times changing because we as human beings live longer. So a lot of those old ages of consent was because a lot of people didn't like living to be 30. That was like, back in like, the 1700s or something like that. That was like a rare thing. So of course, the age of consent was lower. That everybody was moving at a faster rate. And as medicine got better, we live longer. And so maybe people are viewing it different. But then again, people think 40 is old today. So I don't know what the hell's going on with it. I really don't. I just know that people are just not. They don't have this stuff together. Personally, I see it at work. These kids. They don't. I say kids. I'm talking about people in their 30s. They don't have it together, and I don't get it. And I
That
think
still
I
has
think that I think that saying 18 is not an adult is just going to be another way to call them to coddle the citizens in this country. That's how I see it.
it's not about coddling. It's really about just setting up society as to where it is you can easily identify people. And the reason I brought up Rhode Island is because if you even look at the law and you look at the statutes of what it says, at the age of 15, there can be consensual sexual activity with family members as long as it's agreed upon that the younger party is okay with it. So the age of 18 doesn't mean anything because now what people are doing is they're depending on daddy government to tell them where they can and where they cannot stick their dick or even where they can slide up in them, depending on the age group. But we all know that even that as adults, they can look at a person and say, oh, well, she looks old enough or he looks old enough, or a younger person can lie and say, hey, I was this age, but in truth, years later, I was actually this age. Because there's no consideration of the other person other than the facts of they just trying to get their rocks off. So again, I say, when people say that, oh, well, the legal age of consent or 18 is an adult, why are we even worried about if you above the age of 25, why are you trying to mess with an 18-year-old period? Because people are degenerative and they depended on too much of what everyone else is saying as an adult so they can know where to stick their dick at or know what dick to take up in them.
Yeah, that's kind of not how that works. At the age of like, between 23 and 28, You know, I continuously ran into chicks that were 18, 19. You know, most of them
That's
look young.
anecdotal.
Most of them look young to me. You
That's
know, and I
that's
would be
anecdotal to the that's
asking,
anecdotal to the majority.
and I would be asking for. I understand, bro, but you gotta listen to what I'm saying. And I would be
Go
looking
ahead.
for, like driver's license, because I'm like, yeah, there's no way. You know, they always try to get a ride
Mhm.
on a motorcycle, right? But a lot of them would lie and say they're 23. There's no way I could tell. So when you say like, I guess you're talking about guys who are going out of their way to seek out an 18-year-old.
My
You know,
comments are gender specific.
you know.
They're not gender specific.
Even if they're not, you know, you're talking about people who are going out of their way to seek out. And you're gonna have to correct me if I'm wrong. I'm assuming here.
To justify sex with minors.
But 18 is not a minor. I'm not talking about
Again,
that. I'm not talking about that. Listen, I don't know what's going on. Why they're trying to make a law where you can even have sex with a family member of any age? I don't know what's going on with
it's
except
already a law.
except
Look it up in Rhode Island.
except for what I know about Rhode Island, and Rhode Island's kind of weird. So it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? I was born and raised in Boston. Rhode Island's, you know, like
Call me a
30,
gender
45 minutes away. You know what I'm saying? So it's always been a weird area. So I'm just sticking with the adult stuff. I don't you know, children's stuff is a totally different topic to me, and there has to be a line drawn. You
But
know,
that's the premise of what we're talking about. The premise of what we're talking about, which is what another content creator brought up, is that men are treated differently when it comes to interacting with young adults. I'm talking about females, and specifically, what we was talking about was how it is that a young woman or a woman was grooming another young or woman, and he said, "Well, no, when women do it to younger women, it's not considered grooming." I
Hey, you
said, "Well, no,
guys,
that's bull."
I need to go lose my temper real quick. I'll be right back.
Go
Oh,
ahead.
you need to go lose your temper.
Child, listen.
Don't hurt nobody, nigga. But no. So the premise of the conversation was, well, when older men do it to younger women, we call it grooming without a shadow of a doubt. When older women do it to younger women, why is it not considered grooming? When we all know that it's predatory behavior. That was the premise of the whole conversation. This is where Rhode Island came about, and the age thing came up as far as 15 years old. And I'm trying to stay from the I word, but family sexual activity. That's where the premise of this whole conversation comes from.
And the inappropriateness of teachers dealing with 18-year-olds. Because if you're 18 years old and you're in high school and your teacher's dealing with you, that's inappropriate. Or do you think that that's an adult in high school and they should be touched on?
that's an adult in high school, but what happens is because one teacher, she got in trouble because the student, she got in trouble and the father got in trouble because he knew about it. And yet, in the dude, he was 18, but he was also a student. So that therein lies the problem. If he was like in a different school somewhere, like outside the district, based on the law, I forget which state that happened in, but based on the laws, that would have been perfectly fine because he was an adult.
But you understand the premise that we're talking about. It's an older female teacher messing with a student. I'm sorry, not messing with a student, messing with a man who's 17, just now coming into 18. So let me ask you this question. If I'm 17 years old, if I'm
17 is too young.
wait. If I'm 17 years old today and I turn 18 in 2 days and I sleep with my teacher, is it okay?
If you're not in the same school, yeah, it is.
Wow.
Wow.
Wow. I guess that's why educator sexual misconduct is a law on the books. Thank God for the lawyers.
I mean, because again, even in college, like your professors are not supposed to be, you know,
Ass motherfucker. I'm
they're
sorry.
not,
Go ahead.
even in college, you know, the
Hey,
professors,
Chris,
and it's not just the freshman students, you know, it's any college student. Your professor's not supposed to be messing with any of the students, not you or anybody else. You know,
but
so that go ahead.
remove the teacher aspect. I'm 17 today and I turn 18 in 2 days, but I'm messing with a woman who's in her 30s. Is that okay?
Legally, yes.
No, it's not.
If you're my son and a 30-year-old is you know hanging up under you, which they do, you know, then I'm asking her questions. You know, what's your intentions? You know, with my son, what are you trying to do? You know what I mean? But at the same
So,
time, you're 18 and you can be like, shut up, pop. You know, I love this woman. And then there's nothing I could do about it.
Oh, it is something you can do about it. If your son tell you to shut up, you can pop him in his mouth. Who the hell you talking to? Hell, you man.
People are
But
not
nah,
grown when they're 18 years old. But this speaks to what I said earlier. Young boys, young men get assaulted, and other men give them an attaboy. Oh, well, that's perfectly legal. Oh, well, that's okay. Setting inappropriate sexual dynamics, which haunt them all their lives, and they have ineffective connections moving forward. It's dumb.
because if it was your daughter and she's 17, and in 2 days she's about to be 18, she's messing with a 30-year-old man, would you have that same premise?
Yeah, but she's
Right.
18. But she's 18, and there's nothing I can do about it. Legally. You know what I'm saying? I could voice my approval all day, but legally, there's nothing I could do. That person's not breaking the law by engaging with my daughter. You
I
know what
thank
I'm
God
saying?
for my parents and how they raised us because they wasn't going. Somebody came sniffing around us and they was in an inappropriate age. They got ran the hell off. That's parents raising their children and their young adults, protecting them till they are gone out the house.
Right, because now
I wish.
you're dependent on the system. Sorry to cut you off, baby, but you're dependent on the system to say when it's okay for your child to have sex.
mm that's interesting because let's say everything it's all legal. Yeah, when you go to the cops and say, "Hey, I want this person, to stay away from my daughter," they're like, and they shrug. Oh, well, this is legal age. They're gonna shrug their shoulders. So if I go and kneecap the guy with my 9 millimeter, then I'm gonna be in jail, and now my daughter's out there, in the world, and I'm in prison, and this guy's still around. So, you know,
But this
typically,
could,
I'll say this: typically, when men are around, the predatory people who are seeking out young children, they're not around. They typically look to see if the father's missing. You see what I'm saying?
but you're
No,
speaking,
they
you're speaking,
don't.
you're speaking
So
to you're speaking to what it is that my
go
wife
ahead.
was just saying. That when you have family members who actually raise their children, ain't no way in hell my child 17 about to be 18, and here comes some 25-year-old, 26-year-old, 22-year-old Negro coming to the house talking about I want to be with your daughter. Oh no, hell no. But go ahead, baby. You were saying something.
Yeah, I was gonna say, the way my parents raised me, they told us you ain't grown until I say you grown. And that was well after we had finished college and our brains had fully developed and we could handle some things. And they did not let us run around thinking that we was growner than we was and we could do whatever it is that we wanted to do. We still had curfews and everything until we was in our own lane and doing what it is that we supposed to do. So I find it quite intriguing that a man that says people are not raising their children feels like an 18-year-old is an adult. You
Yeah.
put
Because
that 18-year-old on the streets, you put them out the house, you make them go handle their own bills and provide for themselves, and they are unable to, they wind up coming back home. Yeah, they're not an adult.
Well, them not being able to handle the bills is an economy issue. You know what I mean? The price of everything has gone up, and the pay hasn't gone up. But what about the 18-year-olds who are coders and they're into software? They're making enough money to be on their own. And so I'm older, so I'm raised by parents. I was raised by parents that was out the house by 18. You know what I mean? And it wasn't uncommon for people to be out the house by 17 back in those days. And so, I think it's just a generational difference. That's what I'm thinking right now
I
because
don't think it's
I just don't see how at 18 you don't have it together. And I'm not talking about financially. Financially is different because this country's crazy. So when people are still living with their parents, I understand what's going on. But
I don't think it's a
go ahead.
generational thing. I don't know how old you are, but I don't think it's a generational thing because even back when my great grandfather was still alive, this is something that has been going on. This is a lesson that has been taught that when you grown outside of my home, I'm sorry, when you're outside of my home, then you can maybe consider yourself an adult. But while you're here, you're going to get life lessons. You're going to get the understanding of how it is that you should balance your money. You're going to get the understanding of how it is that you should run your life as a young man. And when you grow and you go out into the world, that you're going to understand that the world owes you nothing. So you have to work for everything that you got. So I'm only 35 years old. My father was born in a year that I'm not gonna say, and my grandfather, my great grandfather was born in a year that I'm not gonna say because people out here trying to dox people and shit like that. But the thing is, that's not a generational thing. That's a mindset thing. That's a problem.
Well, I guess,
and, and
here's the
also
thing. Go ahead.
and also Cowboy. Of course, you and I had conversations about this regarding my upbringing. My father. But to what Sel says, as long as you're underneath the house, that whole idea of being grown is out the window. Now, I'm going to put you in positions that you're going to be more experienced, so that way when you get on your own, now you can officially call yourself grown, because whatever I taught you, now you can start to put it to good use. Now, I understand the legal aspect of they 18 by law, they can do whatever they want. Now, I think that's a trap by the government, but that's a string for another day. When you 18, yeah, you can legally do whatever you want to. Now, it's up to me as a person that brought you into this world, that is taking care of your ass. It's up to me to acknowledge your right. And if I do acknowledge your right of being grown, I have to make the decision. Are you going to continue to freeload off of me, or are you going to go out there and get it out the mud? So you can't pick. It's like, what do you choose? Do you choose to be grown? Or do you choose to be dependent?
Well, here's the thing with that. I think most people, know about the parents like this, my house, my rules. You know what I mean? But however, once that child leaves out the house, then what are you really doing? I mean, you'd be surprised the power that children already have a lot of power anyways, legally in this country. But at 18 and stuff like that, man, they could move out the house, and in some states they could make you pay for it if they're in college. You know what I'm saying? And then they really just doing what they want. I saw a case like that in Jersey. And that was just an argument over, hey, you know, you need to be in the house at a certain time and this, that, and the third, and we can't afford this college. You need to go to community college. Man, that chick moved in with her grandparents. Her grandparents were enablers, and she took them to court with the grandparents, and them parents had to come up off that money for the school that she wanted to go to. I was like, wow, that's crazy,
I
But
think I heard about that story.
so I mean,
Yeah,
it's
but
I
here's,
think if you raise your children to respect you, I think they'll listen. I mean, they're gonna make mistakes, but um, it's hard when it comes to adult children dealing with how am I going to word this? Intimate, relationships, and they
what,
think they
what do you
they
mean?
got it figured out.
What do you mean it's hard?
Because the more you restrict them, sometimes, not all the time, but it happens a lot. The more you restrict them, the more they're like, you're against me and I'm going with this person. We see it happen with this doggone football player and that girl. Everybody try
I
to warn
mean,
that boy.
that's
And
natural life. That's natural life that the young
Mhm.
will challenge the old, right? And the more you restrict the child, especially when they're in their rebellious phase, then of course, if I tell you not to eat this thing, there was a study that they did on children, right? And the study was this. It was to see who would end up in what grade level or how they would perform in school. So this is what they would do. They would take a child and they would put him in a room with a marshmallow, and they would say, "Do not touch this marshmallow until I get back." Do you know what that's testing for?
Mm-mm.
no,
That's testing for gratification. So if you leave a child in a room and a child doesn't touch the marshmallow until you get back, that shows that that child has the patience and the ability to be able to wait because they're following instruction. If that child eats that marshmallow at any time frame while you're gone, they don't have no patience. They have no ability to actually be able to wait and follow instruction. That child is more than likely to be rebellious. Try it with your own child. If you have a young child, put them in a room with a piece of candy or anything that they like religiously, and tell them don't touch it till I get back. If you come back and that thing is moved, that lets you know that they touched it and listen to you. So as they grow up, you can be able to identify these things to where you say, okay, you know what? I'm going to assume that at some time in your life, you're going to try to challenge my authority. And let me just say this as well. Parenting is not challenged inside the home. Parenting is challenged outside the home. See, inside of your home, you raise your children the correct way. Your children will not challenge you. They may try, but they understand that there's going to be consequences that's going to come from these actions. Your parenting is only tested outside the home, because when your child does not have to live up under you or listen to your every word every day, your every commandment every day, they're actually out in the world and they get to make decisions on their own. That's where you can find out who's actually been paying attention to the values and the morals that you've been teaching them, and also who's not. So even in this thing about sexual proclivity, if you've been raising if you've been raising your child right, like, hey, listen, before you get out here talking about, oh, I'm 18, I can have sex now, you need to be very careful with who you giving that thing to, because you can end up with something that you either can't get rid of or something you're going to be responsible for the rest of your life.
Right. Hold on.
Or both.
Hold on real quick. We hold on thought. We got a super chat. Raw. No, you cannot say adult children. According to you, that does not exist. They are either adults or children. Thank you for the $5 super chat by way of Cellulite Pop.
Couch is how I was raised. I used to ride around the block, even when it was hot. I like to see it for myself. I need the money and the wealth. And if you try to test me, you gon' see what I'm about. You can come and get it straight from the horse's mouth. I've been soul searching as long as.
Cowboy, go ahead.
Yeah, I didn't make that up. That's something that I read in the great state of Massachusetts, in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. That's written into their laws. So that's I didn't invent the phrase. But yeah, when you were talking about the marshmallow thing, I was laughing to myself, man, because I remember I went to go get some, Hershey's chocolate syrup. I'll make some chocolate milk, and I'm like, damn, why is this thing light? Because I don't really drink this. You know what I'm saying? Thought it was my imagination. I just get to paying attention. And, some of my daughter, she's little. Man, she's getting up on the refrigerator, getting the whole bottle and turning it up. She's drinking it straight. so evidently, she would have been one of the ones to eat the marshmallows. But children is, but was she rebellious? No, I wouldn't call it rebellious. But she would question her surroundings. If you told her not to do something that she wanted to do, she would ask why, and I encouraged that. You know what I mean? Because being able to question, just blindly following orders is not the thing to do out here, especially for our people. But y'all go ahead.
Well, this is why it's important to be a better parent. And of course, we all know that parenting does not come with a book. We all know that life does not come with a book. They got this thing called the Bible, which is basic instructions before leaving Earth. We all understand that, but people like to cherry pick what they can and what they do like out the Bible, and we all know that the Bible is incomplete. This is why you have to broaden your horizons when it comes to living life, parenthood, safety, discipline, all these things. If you are rushing into anything, then you're bound to fail. And one of the most sound things I ever heard is that a man who knows no limits is on a quick way to his own funeral. So you have to understand how it is that you must walk within life, because no one owes you nothing and no one has to love you. They don't have to like you. They're only going to treat you with what it is that you're going to allow them to treat you with. So when it comes to your children can say, oh, well, I'm 18 now, I can do what I want. I'll slap you across your damn mouth. Who the hell are you talking to? You living in my house. You eating up my food. You using my electricity. You under my roof, sleeping on my bedclothes. Now, if you want to change that, get you a job and go get your own shit. Because there's nothing like living in your own shit where you can make your own rules. But as long as you're in mine, you're gonna follow my rules. Now, if you want to challenge that, that's cool. You can go somewhere else. But as long as you're here, then you're gonna understand that wherever there's a roof, there is a rule. Now, that teaching they take with them to their own place. And when someone comes to challenge them in their place, they're gonna understand my father didn't let nobody challenge him in his house. I ain't gonna let nobody challenge me in my house. And that's with my daughter. Oh, ain't no nigga about to come in here and tell me what to do, especially if you ain't respecting me. And as far as my son go, ain't nobody about to tell me how to live in my shit. And you have to teach them the right way. This is what raising your children is. Not being a weekend parent. This is being a full-time parent. This is being a full-time adult. If we have more people who can follow along this psychology to actually be a part of not just their children's lives, but a part of their own growth, then we can have a better society. We can have a better community. Because right now the community is based nothing based on nothing but degenerative behaviors.
Right. And I say this jokingly, Cowboy, you bad luck. This is why I say this.
What happened?
I say this out of love, and I say this jokingly. You are bad luck. When I used to hold my rooms at Clubhouse, how long do I normally try to keep my room for?
Listen, man, that's your fault that you be
See,
trying to
you
run
see.
short time. You try to have a deep conversation and be like out in 25 minutes. Like, stop it, man. Stop it. Stop doing that.
Now, you guys see when I have my Clubhouse rules, and we may go back to doing I may go back to doing Clubhouse rules, because with all the rules that I'm seeing now, and Cowboy, you already know how King Chicago get down in his room titles and how that gets. I may need to get back to doing rooms again, but I usually like to hold 90-minute rooms, and anytime I try to leave, it extends like an extra hour or so. With get it out of your chest, I try to get it between 30 minutes. We done exceeded that. We at hour 52. I was like, what the hell? So there's always
No, that's only
opportunity,
because you
Cowboy.
ran
Come,
off. That's only because you ran off to go cuss somebody out. Don't blame us.
man. Listen. Yeah,
Yeah, he did. I know,
Now,
right?
I ain't gonna
man.
admit Cowboy was on his way to getting cussed out, but he railed it back a little bit. But
Yeah,
yeah, he railed it
Cowboy
back a little
is
bit. But yeah, that's because you ran off and you went to go cuss somebody out.
allegedly. We're just gonna say allegedly. I did that. Oh, human beings get on my fucking nerves. So that was interesting conversation. You guys.
Oh, now it's our fault. Ain't that a bitch?
I said human
Yep.
beings. I didn't say a name.
I ain't gotta take this disrespect. Don't worry about it.
Uh,
Hey, at least I pulled up. We're Nightish at.
yeah, night. It's all good.
You
It
know
is
what?
all.
It's your fault for leaving that link in the chat. Talking
There
about
you
pull
go.
up.
Exactly. Me and my wife pulled up. See, now this how you gonna treat us in your house? I ain't even mad at you.
Man,
This is
what
your
the
house.
hell?
Yeah,
How the
that's all
hell
right.
did
I'm
this
about to file a
happen?
live
What
stream and
the?
cuss your ass out. That's all. It's all good.
Hey, chill
Yep.
out, chill out, chill out, chill out, chill out, chill out, chill
And you know how I get down, Chris. I cuss your ass out.
out. Everybody relax. Everybody relax. Everybody relax. God damn it! Here, I'm about to get cussed out for real.
No, you're not about to get cussed out. I mean, you brought your little friend over here. Your little friend over here is little messy boots. But it's all good. It is.
Messy boots.
Complete mess of boots. You was on your way to getting cussed out. You just don't know it.
Mm-hmm. Don't say somebody angry when they're not angry, honey, because I'll show you angry.
Whoa,
It's a little different.
this is why
It's
I
a little
said.
different. But that's okay, because this is now a topic that I'm about to do when you end this show. People thinking that black children is grown at 18 and why that's causing the community to suffer.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm gonna say, you guys. Because I don't really say this often. My content is available to be reviewed, especially this one. So I totally understand.
Mm-mm. This your
Nightish,
friend. This your friend. So I ain't gonna
Nightish, you're
review
more
your
than
friend.
welcome.
No
Not
blame
hold on,
me.
real quick. Nightish, you're more than welcome to review it. Hopefully, I get a chance to pull up on your channel. We can have that conversation. Just have a deep dive into it, because, like I said, we all agree what Nightish is saying. Like, society is not going to hold women to the same standard. But one thing we have to start doing is bumping society and say, no, we're gonna do this because this is the right thing to do, whether society agrees with it or not. If this woman is a groomer and she groomed woman to be sexually assaulted, Robbie, what's her name? You interviewed her yesterday. I don't know her name.
Priscilla.
Not
No,
her. The other
Oh,
Dana.
Dana.
Dana. Yes, if Priscilla sexually assaulted Dana, Priscilla needs to be held accountable. If all of this is false, Dana needs to be held accountable. We're going for not what society believes. We need to go for what's right. That's why I stated I want all victims to get justice, and I want all predators to be held accountable. I started this, and that's how I'm going to finish it. Content is available for review. Uh, no beef, no nothing. I'm not striking anybody. Y'all go right ahead. It's all good with me. But any last words?
Modern black men are
I'm in
causing
a
a
call,
decline
sweetheart.
in the culture. That's my last words.
Modern black women. Jesus, Jesus, Jesus.
That's
I'm in a call, so y'all can go ahead and just drop me.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna drop all y'all. Cowboy, it's good hearing from you, man. We're gonna talk later.
Yeah, bye, Cowboy Bebop. Bye.
Get off the panel. What is wrong? Goodbye. Holy shit. Can I buy? No, I'm at work. I'm gonna say I need a drink. I really wish I could drink on the job, but I don't think I can. I might risk it. No, I won't. No, I won't. Not on duty. I gotta get out of here. If you like this content, hit the like button. Dislike, hit the dislike. I'm pretty sure everybody has a lot of thoughts and opinions. Put it in the comment section and let's chop it up. Follow me on all my socials. Links are located in the description. We're on the road to 1,000 subscribers. Once we reach that goal, one lucky person will get $100 when we do the Cash App giveaway stream. All right. Thank you guys for tuning in. This is the BTSI Show. I'm your host, Christopher J. I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Peace out.
It's a mess, but hey, don't even worry about it.